Hi, DJD Reviews here, back for another Transformers review, and today we have two reviews in one, basically because this is the same figure done in different plastics and paint. So on the right we have the MMC reformatted R27 Calidus, their captain, and the R27 Calidus AM Astrix Mode, the captain as well, which is basically a redeco of the figure later on in the IDW comics. So I'm just going to quickly go through the box and so forth, kind of like what it looks like and what you get in the box. So to start with, we're going to go through the original molding of this figure. So again, this is a typical Mastermind Creations box now, with some lovely artwork on the front with the R27 Calidus, the captain there at the bottom with the reformatted logo at the top. Lovely figure there. On the top of the box we have again reformatted R27 Calidus with a lovely piece of artwork there at the box. On the back of the box we have some product shots, robot mode, some posing positions to give you an idea of how posable the figure is, and its alternate mode. On the side, R27 Calidus, the captain, with a nice image there of Rodimus or Hot Rod. And then on the other side, a nice red background there with R27 Calidus, the captain, in a nice shiny writing. And again, another lovely image of Rodimus or Hot Rod there. And then finally on the bottom we've got your obligatory warnings, you know, please don't give this to anyone under the age of 3 in case they swallow anything. And then you have sort of like their contact details for Facebook, email address, and YouTube channels, and so forth. So again, very standard box now from Mastermind Creations. Again, this box follows the more recent releases where the front of the box is closed. In their first several releases, the actual front of the box did open and gave you some artwork on the inside of the box, and you could see the actual figure within the box. But this is now their standard box art and the way that they're designing their boxes. A little bit disappointing because I really did enjoy being able to open the front of the box and having a look at the artwork and also the figure inside the box. Moving on, we have this is the convention exclusive for Mastermind Creations at TF Nation. This was also available at TFCon Toronto as well. And we have a lovely piece of artwork here, again showing Rodimus in his redecoed purple, blues, silver paint job as well, with some lovely background artwork there as well. And this wraps around to the side. On the other side we have reformatted Calidus, the Astrix Mode, on a white background. It's kind of an orangey red writing, and then on the back just Mastermind Creations, their logo. But what's really nice about this is very very to their Astrix Mode Syndicus. So you just slip that off and put that to the side, and we have a lovely green box with the figure silhouetted. Again, the reformatted logo at the top, and then Calidus Astrix Mode at the bottom. And again, the artwork wraps around to the side. And again, we have the reformatted Calidus Astrix Mode. Very, very shiny detailing here. Lovely box. And then again, it just wraps around to the back as well. On the top, again, reformatted Calidus Astrix Mode. And on the bottom, again, just your obligatory kind of warnings and how to contact them. But what's different about this box, which again I really like, is the fact that it goes back to their original box styling. And again, on the left there you can see a really lovely image of Calidus, and then on the right you have where the figure is stored, so you don't actually have to have him out of box, you could just display him in the box. Either way, the figure is going to look absolutely stunning. So that is the box out of the way. Now, both of these figures come with exactly the same accessories. So first off, we're going to go with the gun. This is a very standard gun, again very nicely made. It's just a little bit of detailing, no paintwork or anything, which is a little bit disappointed. Would have been nice to have been like a gunmetal paint job, maybe some silver accents on here. But what this is very reminiscent of is Hot Rod or Rodimus's gun in the original G1. So there is some kind of homage to G1 with this figure. Both of these figures have this particular gun. This is the Calidus mold, the original one, the R27's gun. The only difference between this and the Astrix Mode gun is that the Astrix Mode gun is done in a purple-ish colour, again based on his redeco in the comic books. But again, very, very nicely styled. But it's just one colour, and that's just the plastic colour. It would have been nice to have had some paint detail on there. The other accessory weapon-wise that you get is a bow. Now this has two functions. It operates as a weapon in robot mode, but also this fits under the underside of the alt mode and acts as a bumper. So he can go and ram people with some very, very spiky bumpers and do some serious damage. It has some articulation at both ends, so when he's holding it in robot mode, you can angle it and pose it how you wish. And you could even potentially put some string or something between here if you wanted to, but you do have some very nice articulation there for both robot and vehicle mode. Again, this is done in a red plastic with some silver and a little bit of orange detailing. The Astrix Mode is exactly the same, but again this is done with some purples and blue detailing, again also with the silver. Same articulation points, same function as a bow and also as a bumper. So again, very standard with this figure. And then the last accessory, I'm going to bring both of these in because I have them slightly differently done on both figures. So he comes with an alternate head. So this is a very kind of stoic, non-expressional face, and this is the one that comes standard on the figure. And here you see some nice yellow and orange paintwork, a little bit of grey and blue of the eyes, really, really nice. And on the back you just have a screw which you have to undo, and then you can replace the head. Now on the figure himself, this is the actual head that I've put on. This one's got a little bit of a cheeky smirk, and this is, I think, very kind of iconic of Hot Rod as a character. Very, very fun-loving, very, very cheeky. That's at least how I kind of remember him, very outgoing and everything. So it is a very subtle, cheeky smile. But again, you have some nice purple, blue, and grey paintwork there. Again, the eyes are very, very subtle. I'm not sure if you can see in there, but they're very, very nicely done. Again, the back, you just have the screw there to undo the screw to replace the head. So like on the original mold for Calidus, I've got the cheeky face, and on the Astrix Mode I have the more stoic face. So those are the accessories that you get. On top of that, you also get a collector's card. So some very, very nice artwork there. What's really nice about this is that they've given you two different poses for the figure, but again, very, very nice. And then on the back you also have their stats as well. By the looks of it, they're completely identical as well, so even though he's had a redeco, he's not changed in strength or anything like that. And they have actually, for this figure, the R27 Calidus, the original mold, you do have an image of him there. On this one though, however, you've actually got an image of their Preminion, Surface Preminion figure. I'm not entirely sure why, whether that's a mistake, I don't know, but a bit of a shame they couldn't do the Astrix Mode figure in there. But again, your typical standard MMC collector's cards, very nice addition. And then last but not least, we have your instruction manuals, again with some very nice artwork on the front, and then on the back, which you have to turn upside down, again some very nice image of both the Astrix and the original mold of Calidus. As standard with the reformatted line, we have on the front here just an idea of what you get in package, so the figure, the energon bow, the head, the rifle and the instruction manual, and it basically goes through the instructions. Pretty clear and concise constructions. And then at the end here, just before the comic, which I'm not going to spoil, we've got an image of their upcoming R28 Tyrantron, which I've got on pre-order with Kapow, so very much looking forward to that. And like I said, on this side we have the comic, which I'm not going to spoil. So if you want to know what's going on in the comics, you're going to have to get this figure yourself. And again, exactly the same here. This side is your instruction manual, and then on the other side you've got your comic, again, which I'm not going to spoil. The only difference is with this one, I think there's a slight difference, is not, oh yes, you have a different product shot of Tyrantron on the other page as well. So again, you do get the two different types of modes that you can display Tyrantron with, so really looking forward to that figure. Okay, so onto the figures themselves, so let's bring them both out. So again, nothing here has actually changed between the two figures, with the exception of the actual plastic colours. You get exactly the same articulation and the ability to pose the figures. Let's just turn them to the side so you get an idea of the side profile as well. Pretty nice backpack, you know, not much of a backpack really, your standard Hot Rod or Rodimus backpack. Coming round to the back, you do get a slight difference with the canopy. On the Astrix mode it's an orange, and on the original mold it's more of a like a bluish teal, light teal colour. Right, so I'm just going to put the Astrix mode off to one side for the moment. And let's go through the figure itself in robot mode. So, head is on a ball joint. You get a little bit of a down, quite a nice up, considering that he's got a little bit of a blockage here at the top. And he can move side to side, and a little bit of side to side there, but definitely kind of you could do a 360 if you really wanted to. The fins on the back, they do actually come out for some reason, whether or not these were purposely not glued in, or whether they just felt that they didn't need to be glued in or whatever, I'm not entirely sure, but you can remove them if you don't want the figure to have the fins at the back. So in box, when it comes out, you do actually have the arms extended out like this, but that looks a little bit weird to me, so most people are going to have it in here. But you do have this nice lever joint here on a rotation, so it could do a full 360. You come pretty much hit his head if you really want him to make that sure. You've got a complete bend at the elbow. That's a transformation joint as well. The fist does rotate and is on a ball joint. You get a little bit of up and down, little bit of side to side, and then you also get a fixed thumb, and then you have the first finger is articulated independently, and then the three remaining fingers are fixed on the pin as one. You get a rotation at the waist. You have a nice ratchet out to the side, nice ratchet going for a soft ratchet going forward and back. Pretty much do the splits in both directions. This one's a little bit inhibited by the thigh guards to the side. You get plenty of articulation at the knee joint, well over 90 degrees. You get a rotation at the thigh, and then you also get a rocker forward and back as well. What's really important to note here is that during transformation, this joint here actually slides forward and back. So in robot mode, you actually have it slid up to this point. When you're transforming it, you slide it back, otherwise you're not going to be able to transform the figure fully. So the one thing that a lot of people complain about with Mastermind Creations is the fact that it does lack in paint. And yes, you know, there are a few pieces of paint detailing on the figure, but it is very minimal. But I don't mind that, because the way that they operate is they actually do use a lot of color breakup with their plastics. So I'm not too fussed about their paintwork. I think the only thing here is you see that they've got some slightly different coloration. I don't know if you can see it here, but the color of the abdomen here is slightly different here. I'm not entirely, I think that may well be painted. The chest is definitely painted, but we just have plastic breakup otherwise. So all in all, I'm really happy with the way that this figure looks in robot mode. Again, I think it cleans up incredibly well. I would have liked a little bit more paint, like I think a lot of people would, but overall I'm really happy with this figure. Right, I'm going to stop the video here, and I'm going to come back and we're going to have both of these figures in alt mode. Okay guys, and we are back, and here we have both R27 Calidus Captain and R27 Astrix Mode Calidus in their vehicle modes, and I think they look absolutely amazing. I think both plastic schemes look absolutely amazing. Obviously we have the iconic colours there for Hot Rod Rodimus, but for me the Astrix Mode here, it just pops. It's just such a beautiful color breakup. The only thing I don't particularly like about this is the purple wheels. I'm not entirely sure why they went for the purple wheels, but outside of that I have absolutely no complaints at all about the vehicle modes. Yes, it's not 100% accurate to the IDW vehicle, but everyone's entitled to their own artistic license. I think the most obvious one is the bumper. It doesn't exist in the IDW Continuum. But it's a nice little addition to the figure, and also a little bit of homage to Hot Rod in another Transformers continuum, as well as the ability to be able to put the gun on the top of the vehicle mode like you were able to do with previous Hot Rod figures. And again, it's the iconic G1 gun. So again, let's just have a nice quick look at those two together. Again, like I said, I think they're both amazing figures, but the Astrix Mode colours, they just pop absolutely amazing. They're absolutely beautiful. But I'm absolutely ecstatic that I've been able to pick up both of these figures in their different colours. Now, from what I understand, and I believe this was shown in Pure's video review, I think it's in the back of this guy's instruction manual, is that at another convention they are actually doing another colour variant of this mould. It's going to be a dark Rodimus, and the actual artwork, he's facing away from us, so we don't actually know if he's going to have his iconic black moustache. I'm betting it will do, but you know, I'm not really into the black repaints too much, so even if it is available, I'm just going to stick with these two. I'm really happy with them. So again, let's just take R27, just have a lovely look around. Again, I love the colour breakup that they do have, even though I think there should be a little bit more colour breakup around here with some yellow paint detailing. Like I said, you can angle these out if you want, but they're supposed to be up by the vehicle. Some nice silver paintwork here. What's really important to note when you're transforming it to vehicle mode is that there are some small tabs here, and you want to make sure you hear a definitive click to make sure that it's actually secured in place. That's probably the only area that I think some people might kind of forget. And again, you have his iconic exhaust pipes as well, and the iconic fins on the top with some very nice colour breakups. Yeah. Both figures do roll, so no problems there. Again, and again, with the exception of the hands, there's not really a lot being exposed from the figure with regards to it's a robot. I mean, obviously if we look underneath, we can kind of tell that it's a robot kind of bent in half potentially, but I don't display my vehicles upside down, so that's not going to be an issue. Okay, so that's their vehicle modes. What I'm going to do now is I'm just going to transform them back to robot mode, and we'll do some robot mode comparison shots. Okay, be right back. Okay guys, and we're back with Calidus Astrix and Calidus regular mode, and also what we're going to do is we're going to bring in a few other figures just to kind of like give you a comparison of size. So this is MMC Turbine, or their IDW Whirl. I'm going to be doing a review on him in the near future. Here they are with IDW Cyclonus. And here we have Spartan, or Impactor. And then here we are. They have with the Dichomus, their interpretation of Road Buster. And then finally, here they are with the DJD's Tarn or Coulter. So that gives you an idea of their scale. So let's bring him in. Try and get a few of these other figures in shot. And then finally, let's see if we can fit Whirl in somewhere. So there you have them all together, and I think they look absolutely fantastic together. Some of these figures, so Cyclonus, Roadbuster, Whirl, I haven't done reviews on yet, but I'm going to be doing reviews in the near future. Like I said, I really enjoy the MMC IDW line that they've been doing, the reformatted line. I have got their Tyrantron on pre-order from Kapow, as well as their Alpha, which is I don't believe it's Drift. I can't quite think of who it is off the top of my head, but I do believe they're going to be doing a beta which will be Drift. But there you go, that's what they look like with the rest of the IDW crew. Okay, so let's move these out of the way. And bring these two back in. All right, so yeah, overall I'm really happy that I picked up Calidus from Kapow, and again really happy that I managed to pick up the Astrix Mode Calidus at TF Nation again from Kapow. I think these are really nice interpretations of the IDW Rodimus. I'm looking forward to continuing the IDW line with the reformatted line of MMC. And again, really happy with the figures. Like I said, my favourite has to be the redeco here, the Astrix Mode. I think the colours just really pop, and the breakup of the plastic colours and what paint there is just sets him off in comparison to the original mould. In terms, if it had a little bit more articulation in the head, maybe looking down, that would have been nice. But overall, I believe the articulation is actually pretty good for this figure. Maybe some better or maybe a ratchet going forward and back on the hip. Outside of that, I have absolutely no complaints with either of these figures at all, and they're going to sit really well on my display. So yeah, that's it. If you have any questions or comments about these figures, any questions you want to know, or just want to thumbs up the video or whatever, please leave a comment in the comment section down below. Thanks for listening, thanks for watching, and I'll see you again in the next video.